Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
But that play they ran to Joseph Adai was carbon copy of the play Georgia scored on with Tyson Browning a year ago in Baton Rouge. And it almost had the same result. Russell throwing, it's complete to Bo. Paul Oliver tackles him at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 6 on the play.
Nice tackle by Oliver. He's out in the open field. He's got to make the tackle. And he does just that. He's a guy that they're going to rely on later in the season when they see teams like Florida that are going to throw it around and spread the field.
Jamarcus Russell, 4 of 7 for 86 yards. I had said earlier in the day, I anticipate that somebody in this LSU quarterback situation will emerge as the #1 guy, and today may be the day, and that man may be Jamarcus Russell if he can bring this team back. Under a rush, Russell running, has the first down as he crosses the 35-yard line.
That was a called quarterback draw, and this kid's 6'6", 240 pounds. Not easy to bring down, and Georgia blitzes him too. I mean, they come after him, man up across the board, coming with the all-out blitz. Very nice play call. Jimbo Fisher, highly regarded play caller for LSU.
The Bulldogs were able to shut out South Carolina and Marshall in the second half. Russell back to pass. Has time, gets a block. Now he's going to run. Driven out of bounds by Greg Blue at the 27-yard line. There's a flag way back at the 43, and we may have holding on LSU.
That's exactly what you've got. Well, strange to see David Pollock not in the football game right now. He's getting a breather.
He was shaken up in the second quarter, maybe some lingering effects.
There you see the block in the back on Will Thompson.
Holding on the offense, number 76, 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Pollock back in the game here. There you see the hole. Whitworth trying to set up a screen pass there, and Georgia defends it very well, and Russell has to go the other way. There's Whitworth. He's saying, man, they caught me.
6'7", 325. Junior out of West Monroe, Louisiana. He's making his 32nd career start today. It's 1st and 21 from the 45. Russell fires complete to the 35. That was Davis who made the catch. Mentor on the tackle, and a pickup of about 5 on the play.
Nice call, a little slant there. Davis gets up. Little shoulder stinger there. You got to make these guys pay when they run in there. And Danny Burden-Wheeler, I think, takes it easy on him a little bit right there. Got to make him pay. Make him dread coming back across the middle later in the game.
I said a pickup of 5. They got actually 5 more than that, a pickup of 10. So second down and 11 from the 35. Now out of the shotgun. Handoff to Adai. And Adai hit by Greg Blue and dropped immediately. David Pollock back in there, was in on the tackle as well, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long.
3rd down and long. Not a good place to be against either one of these defenses.
Third and 11. Ball just shy of the 35-yard line. LSU 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. Russell under a rush, and he's going to go down. Quarterback sack for Will Thompson and Trey Battle, who was trying to steal the ball from him, and it's 4th down.
3 down linemen, 6 defensive backs in the game, and they come after him with the blitz.
Second quarterback sack of the season. You saw Trey Battle trying to strip him of the ball.
Trey Battle's a little fighter, man.
He was trying to steal it right there.
He's working on the big 6'6" guy. And he's happy about it.
Georgia's going to call a timeout. They don't have enough men on the field. Georgia had only 10 men on the field.
That's not good.
Timeout on the field with 9:09 to play in the third quarter. Georgia leading LSU 24-10 on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. LSU now to punt as they've been pushed back to their 46-yard line. They looked like they had some momentum on this opening possession of the third quarter, but the Bulldogs came up with big plays on defense to stop them. And now Chris Jackson punting from his 40-yard line. Tim Jennings stands at the 10 for Georgia. Jennings calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 7-yard line. And that's where Georgia will put the ball in play on offense for the first time here in the third quarter. So the Bulldogs withstand the push downfield by LSU. And as you pointed out during the break, Buck, had it not been for Thomas Davis running down Joseph Adai, he might have scored on that screen pass, and it would have been a 24-17 game.
Yeah, exactly. Big series for LSU coming out of the box in the second half. They've got a chance to cut it to 7. And Thomas Davis saves the day with that shoestring tackle.
Bulldogs take over at their 7-yard line. Green going to the air. Fires. Ball is batted down. Looks like Marcus Spears got a piece of it. They did that a lot last year in Baton Rouge. In fact, they batted down 7 passes a year ago in Baton Rouge, and Marcus Spears got a hold of that one.
Yeah, he's got the fullback working on him, and Des Williams goes low, and Marcus Spears goes high. 6'5", wingspan too, up there like he's 6'11". A little tough to throw over that.
Chad Lavallee and Marquise Hill made a killing on that a year ago. In fact, I was talking with Lavallee today, or rather this week, in the Atlanta Falcons locker room. He was all pumped up about this game. Green back to pass, going up top for his tight end Martrez Milner, who has it out across the 30-yard line and up to the 34.
Big play right there. LSU probably sleeping a little bit on those tight ends. They hadn't caught a pass in the first half. Good job by Rick to call their number. Martrez Milner has caught a couple of balls. He's dropped a couple of balls this season. A little tough to drop it when he puts it in your breadbasket like that.
Third catch of the season for the junior out of Gainesville, Georgia, and West Hall High School. First down and 10 from the 34. Gibson in motion. Green tried to lob it over the head of Des Williams and threw it over his head.
Well, he had to throw it over Marcus Spears was the problem, and Spears just got through knocking one of those balls down. Let's see, loft it over Spears and drop it accurately down to the fullback. That's not an easy throw, man.
No, it isn't.
It's one of the tougher ones.
Fires a great deal of touch. Second down and 10. The ball is at the 34. Handoff to Danny Ware. Danny Ware tackled by Kyle Williams. Williams now with 7 tackles on the day, including a quarterback sack.
Brings up another third down situation. Georgia 3 of 9 on third down, 33%. Danny Ware there had a big first half. Had some big holes to run through. Suddenly they're not as big anymore.
Bulldogs have rushed for 106 yards collectively today. It's third down and 6. Green under a rush. Dumps it off. Incomplete.
Screen pass call, nothing working. Throw it away. Let the defense play some football for you. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. LSU and had this one snuffed out. Marcus Spears all over that play. Sometimes you can't outsmart them. See, David Green sees, well, I think I'll throw this one away.
Georgia punting again. Gordon Neely-Kelso standing at his 23. Skylar Green back at the 18. looking into the sun. Fields it at the 25, and they're going to say he called a fair catch. I don't think he called a fair catch.
He must have.
I think he was shielding. If we go back and watch the replay, I think he was shielding his eyes from the sun. Let's see. No, he wasn't shielding his eyes from the sun. He raised his arms. And the crowd roared because there should have been a penalty flag on it. If you catch the ball after calling for a fair catch and then run, then that's a penalty. He made a mistake.
What Mark Richt was telling those officials on the sideline.
Timeout with 7:51 to play in the third quarter. It's still 24-10 here on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Reggie Brown in motion behind the line. Hand off to Ware. Ware gets by one. Will not get by Daniels this time. Travis Daniels, actually Jesse Daniels this time, the strong safety. And Ware got just a couple on that play.
Yeah, it reverted back to his high school days where you see these guys running east and west. You got to get vertical. Get vertical here. Reggie Brown has the block set up. He tries to run outside of it. Well, he'll learn. You know, he's still only a redshirt freshman.
17 carries for 83 yards today. Danny Ware. Just his second full game of collegiate football. Hand off to Thomas Brown, and Brown down to the 24-yard line, tackled by Cameron Vaughn.
Suddenly Webster and Daniels, those two LSU cornerbacks, are playing off about 10-15 yards. Maybe LSU's had enough of that little go fade route David Green's been hitting them with.
So now it's 3rd and 6 from the 24-yard line. The 30-yard pass play from Green to Gibson got him down here.
Now they're back up on him again outside.
Green going for Gibson. Touchdown, Fred Gibson. A 25-yard touchdown pass from David Green to Fred Gibson. David Green's 4th touchdown strike of the day, 2nd touchdown catch for Fred Gibson, and it's 30-10.
And Fred lured him to sleep out there. He didn't really come off with all cylinders firing. Got him to relax a little bit, and then he turned on the jets.
Bailey puts it through. Green, 25 yards to Gibson, and it's 31-10.
There you see just jets by Corey Webster. He set him up there. Came off a little slow and said, I'm setting him up. I'm going for the touchdown.
A 21-point lead for Georgia with 5:12 to play in the third quarter here on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Goes 71 yards in 5 plays. 2 big go routes to Gibson on the drive.
Here's the kickoff. Xavier Carter. Well, he downs the ball at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Holy cow. I think that's what you call a freshman mistake.
Yeah. Adai saying, don't come out with it, freshman. He said, okay, I'll just down it.
Wow. Life's most embarrassing moments.
Yeah, you just want to crawl under the grass and disappear. And you don't want to walk back to the sideline and look into the eye of Nick Saban. David Green's 4th touchdown pass ties a school record held by 4 other quarterbacks. 3rd time for Green with 4 touchdown passes.
Jamarcus Russell, quarterback keeper. He just tries to nose the football out of there and get him some room. Derek White came flying out of there with the football in his hands.
Well, if you've ever been in good shape for a quarterback sneak, it's with LSU and Jamarcus Russell.
He got about a yard.
Could fall down for 5 yards.
The one thing is, you don't want your quarterback getting in under that pile because I'm sure there's all manner of nasty things going on.
This crowd's back into the football game. Every Georgia fan in Sanford Stadium on their feet, being encouraged by David Pollock. LSU says, we better take a timeout, boys.
LSU following the timeout, 2nd down and 9 from just across the 1-yard line. Russell going to pass out of his end zone, fires, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by Greg Blue, and now it's 3rd down.
Jamarcus Russell has a habit of putting a lot of touch on the football, gives those DBs a chance to break on it. See Greg Blue up around the line of scrimmage, bails out, almost with a chance to intercept that football. Just too much touch on it.
So now it's 3rd down and 9, and the ball is short of the 2-yard line. LSU in a deep hole after a big freshman mistake by Xavier Carter. Brian Van Gorder's defense has held LSU to just 10 points today. Russell throwing out of the end zone. It's complete to Davis up to the 10-yard line. Davis did not get the 1st down, however, as Tim Jennings made the tackle.
Get him on the roll out a little bit, and he gets hammered when he throws it here. Thomas Davis lowering the boom on the big fella.
And he knocked him back into the goalpost almost.
Still a good throw right on the numbers to Davis. Couldn't ask for anything more there.
So Chris Jackson's going to have to punt out of his end zone. Ball on the 10. Jackson 2 yards deep in the end zone. Tim Jennings standing at midfield. Jennings signals fair catch at the 42-yard line, and the Bulldogs have great field position as they take over with 3:27 to play here in the 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the LSU 42. Georgia leading by 3 touchdowns and perhaps trying to apply the knockout punch right here late in the 3rd quarter. Des Williams the fullback, Danny Ware the tailback. Handoff to Ware. Ware trying to get outside, got by 1 man, and then driven out of bounds by Marcus Spears and Jesse Daniels.
See David Green with a win today equals the great John Rouch, back in the middle 40s, won 36 games for the Georgia Bulldogs, went on and had a great coaching career in the NFL. And look up there at the top, Peyton Manning looms at 39. David Green is going to finish this season, if he stays healthy, the all-time winningest quarterback in Division I football. Amazing stuff.
John Rouch was just inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame a year ago. It's 2nd down, high snap, handoff to Ware. Ware has a hole. Ware has a 1st down, and Ware off to the races and down to the 20-yard line. Finally brought down from behind by LaRon Landry.
And he had a big hole to hit that time, fellas. His eyes lit up when he saw this. You see the great block by Inman. He comes off, seals off that linebacker, and only LaRon Landry from his free safety spot saves the touchdown by Ware.
Ware goes over 100 yards for the 2nd time in his young collegiate career. And remember, he didn't play a whole lot against South Carolina. He left that ball game, so really in his 2nd full game, he's gone over 100 yards again. 1st and 10 from the 20. Gibson in motion behind the line, and Ware gets the rock again. Ware runs right into the pile. Kyle Williams and Ali Highsmith make the tackle.
Had Fred Gibson coming in motion, snapped the ball, and he's actually in there blocking on this play. That's asking a lot of Fred, trying to block one of those big old linebackers.
So now it's 2nd down and 11. David Green making his 44th consecutive start for the Georgia Bulldogs. He's won 35 of them. Green under a rush, gets away, throws on the run, complete. Sean Bailey, touchdown. Sean Bailey's first first catch of the season. 37-10.
LSU coming with the blitz. They get a man free, but David Green makes him miss. And then it's easy from there. He's got an open receiver, delivers a perfect throw to the talented sophomore Sean Bailey.
Andy Bailey, no relation, puts it through the uprights as flags go down, and it's 38-10. And for David Green, a new University of Georgia record, 5 touchdown passes in a ball game.
And look at him. The man's free. He makes him miss. Just great poise.
Offsides, defense, penalty decline. Points good.
Great poise. Sometimes you've got to make a man miss when you face a blitzing defense. Not only does that, but then throws the perfect pass.
First touchdown catch of Sean Bailey's collegiate career.
Chevis Jackson, the freshman defensive back on the blitz, comes up empty, and David Green cashes in.
David Green came into the day with only 3 touchdown passes in Georgia's first 3 games. 5 touchdown passes here today against LSU in a rematch of the SEC championship game as the Bulldogs have pulled out to a 38-10 lead on the LSU Tigers.
A shortage of big plays in the first 3 games, but not today. And plenty of them made today.
Skylar Green back to field this punt. Xavier Carter was not on the kick return team this time around.
Does that surprise you? LSU fans, a long trip from Baton Rouge. They're going to go home disappointed, it looks like.
2 touchdowns in the quarter for the Georgia Bulldogs after LSU had taken the opening kickoff here in the second half and had driven down into Georgia territory, and they were within a play or two of making this a 1-touchdown game, but now they're down by 4 scores.
Yeah, and that play by Thomas Davis was so big there. Opening series of the second half, shoestring tackle prevents the long touchdown.
Russell still in the ball game at quarterback. He'll hand off to Ali Broussard. Broussard is tripped up by Demario Minter out of Stevenson High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Minter unofficially with 5 tackles today.
Nick Saban, I'm surprised they've given up this many points so many times. You went back and looked at it real quick.
Yeah, I looked at it just a real quick glance and quick count. I had seen they'd given up over 39 times. None last year, of course, on the way to winning the national championship, but 9 in the previous 3 seasons. Broussard. Tackle made by Will Thompson up to the 32-yard line. Greg Blue was in on that tackle as well as LSU picks up a first down. I think I'll have to go back and check, and I'll check before I say anything about the most points that have been given up since Nick Saban has been their head coach.
Big David Pollock fan. He's got a lot of those fans.
1st and 10 with the ball at the 32. Georgia showing blitz. Jamarcus Russell dropped the ball. I think he was able to cover it himself at the 29-yard line. The most points that Nick Saban's LSU Tigers have given up in the now 5 seasons that he has been the head coach, in both times to Florida. Back in 2000, gave up 41 in a 41-9 loss, and in 2001, the year they won the SEC championship, they lost to Florida 44-15. Guess who they play next?
Florida?
Yeah. 2nd down and 12. Pass complete to Davis up to the 36-yard line. Minter made the tackle. And now it's going to be 3rd down.
Minter's played well this season. Tim Jennings has gotten picked on, but Minter has played awfully well from his cornerback spot.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. And the Georgia Bulldogs will take a 38-10 lead on LSU into the 4th here on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.